day, lovely people. Your mama kwaba about Supreme Law Publications, everyday lawyer de Bremo. Your church Ghana Bremo City City. Ewo would there be an amount to your work, your business, your relationships? What does the law say? Said that you know how to act. When you subscribe to your channel, but when this always subscribe to Supreme Law Publications, just click on the subscribe no. Also like it, na comment it. What you say? Oh, I drink chiribia. Oh, na mfobi subi wo baby. Wait me share ma obi bia. Na obi aso asa kebi na yi na yede yesuan de enema ye ken enchechere. It's for educational purposes. It does not take away your right to be to consult a lawyer of your choice for further direction and advice. Dem say chen say se bichire wa adwen apart from the making ya wo ho kwan so busa lawyer ni ma okoso chichi mu no wo hu anamo a obetu ye nhwe de na ebisua ye go. As you just saw on the page, we are going to talk about spousal property. We have a video now about family property. Now, family property. No. Okay, but we there, you have a spousal property near there. Spousal interest in property. Say, spousal interest in property. I see anything. One who say, Bema, wesiso, wabobra, kakra, and wabobra, no share baby. You know, then they got married. When a husband and when a man and a woman get together as a couple, husband and wife, so many things happen. The goal is that they are going to live their life together, okay, till death do them part. That is what is often said in the vows, the marital vows. But along the line, something happens and nice issues are them. Until when there are irreconcilable differences between the two parties. In some of bromo so no feel so to me the be mu tie and say omo ya no ma de omagu aware no. Now ye part ye interested wa high and say ejapade no ejapade a ewo aware ni mu no hwan dia ebra aware na agu no where does it go ebi omo bobra no omo timi si fie baako 2 bedroom 3 bedroom omo to asase. You see, that's asking why never. What happens to that? Okay, and if you talk car, if you don't see a bank and all that, what happens to those particular things? And only near my can about spousal interest in properties. No, you see the position of the law, and in the say, and they say, a bra bear or bawari. When a man and a woman are married, at the time or more tia wari munano. At the subsistence of the marriage, you know, any property that they make among property be on be acquired be an that is the general rule. What I say, enti se be mani or bawari no muti baby no musi fie omoto car omuska omu all that sis canu crampo da bank or ban krebi onye adwuma crampo na say or tia wari asise or ban nko if she's not even actively working and she's there as a wife. And the man is working, saving money somewhere. That money does not belong to the man alone. That is the general rule. Okay? If there is a dissolution of the marriage, bibi bana se aware no mu jija. No imagine send your most common separate ways. What is going to happen is that some property the court will look at it and make sure that ubia benya chefa esefata. That is what we call in law an equitable interest in that. So that is the general rule. Now, the only moment, okay, the only time a court will decide to, for example, yebeshe tibiana na ebia property ni yen chen pepepe anase yedin share so nkubeton. That is, the property will be subject to a certain special formula of maybe sharing or all that will be if that particular property, one of the properties there, okay, was a property that was inherited by one of the parties. Ethiopia me ya bema mirindi ye bra esi so say ye bobra na ya war na let's say we are married for like 5 years or 10 years or whatever years that you can put on. In the course of that, and probably her mother ne maame eye japade na ne maame fie bi o de ma no. Okay, so the mother willed her a property to her and she inherited that property from the mother. If in the course of the marriage our any gua or something happens and we choose to break up, that property that she has inherited from the mother, I'm not a beneficiary to that. You understand that? Say, if there is an issue and there's a breakup in the marriage, and the husband will not be entitled to that particular property that the person or the other spouse had inherited on her own. Hope you are clear. The other situation is that maybe the property was a person's self-acquired property in the course of the marriage. The course of the marriage, Obi one more bet me and your bawari, then they will have a house that the two of them have put their money together to build. Now maybe out of some work be a oye, maybe a jume be a oye or something like that. Honestly, when you ska, no one's what to fear be or baby. And I say be a was fear be or baby out of his own resources. And you say be an ereno and then this be shame. And I say bear man and then this be shame. If there's evidence to show say a self-acquired property on one and then a sweat, while I didn't more and it's me achieve there. At the time that the marriage is dissolved, that property does not become a joint property of the two. For which reason I was saying will be a portion of that property. The other situation will also be that, for example, if loan, and then say people are working and some people take loans and other stuff and do things. He takes a loan and probably the person who even guarantees the loan or may not even be either of the spouse. Okay, maybe or something like that. So at the time that the marriage was going on, he took a loan and acquired a property on his own. So if that loan was being paid by himself, now the other spouse was not part of it, that property does not become a family property. It does not become a joint property of the two of them. It becomes his own self-acquired property. So when the marriage dissolves, and that's it, there are irreconcilable differences. Some people say they cannot continue any longer and they break up. Property no, a self-acquired property no. The other spouse may not necessarily have a share in that. Hope you get it. But the general rule in Ghana is that apart from some exceptions where be a assembly bar court be no there 2 years and they say as long as a husband and a wife are living together during the subsistence of the marriage, a bra aware no edasu jinemu ejawo na no, any property that they will acquire, okay, there is a presumption in tiasi or honey say a spousal property. It's a joint acquisition by the two of them. Obia will interest. Asamoba, the court will look at it, and if the two of them decide to break up the marriage, then the court will now decide to make sure that everyone has an equitable interest. But make can say you can say equitable interest. I don't say they be 50-50. And yes, I say equitable interest simply means that court in the na baby say or they pay your to na pay your then atu. That is what I mean by equitable interest. Obi wonuma at the time maybe our any bejija or may break it up no. Ebi na nkwala ni susua. Inti ebi oba ne ho. Inti say property no nyina ne ye ka say ye chen pepe a ebi na de ba kodi oba ne ho no. It may not be sufficient to care for the woman herself and also nkwala na then abemu no. You understand that? Or because of some relative situations. Obi woni may be na yare bia bono at the time of the dissolution or suffer some medical condition be na something. If it is evident that ono no be here more attention, the court will look at all the factors. Na ya share send your chair a bit mini pepe there aba, because there are a lot of things that people may expend in marriage. Obi woni may iska and not be boaware no. Obi was wadaje. Some ladies or some women usually when they are married, Obi will crumple because of dikunu. He was never able to continue with her careers. If you're not used to go school, but because of that, we just school in Ako, send a bit and all that. The law recognizes all these kind of efforts. It is a once and bar. The position of the law is that it will be equitable, and the court will just look at it and see how the parties will be, okay? How the parties will look at it. Now, so that is what we mean by spousal property. And in our first video, when we were mentioning, so when you share video now, yes, when you are buying land, so we that's it. There's a spousal interest. One year careful, now one person at Toma will be an issue. So that is what we basically mean by spousal property. A japadia, a husband or a wife has got interest into what will make one of them be the owner and all that. I think we've clearly explained it. Have a blessed day.